Budget Bits.
Welcome back to episode 42. I tried to do something with my hands there. 42 of Budget Bits Podcast. I said that already. All right.
You know what number is this?
42.
Okay.
42.
42.
Isn't that the answer to life and everything? Yeah, you got
yes.
it. Yeah.
The supercomputer.
Yep. What is it? The answer to life, everything in the universe?
Yeah, that's one of the books.
Everything,
Something
everywhere, all at once.
That's
Douglas
it.
Adams.
That's also it.
That's not the book.
That's it. I am one of your hosts, Justin Pizza Delivery Boy Birchfield.
I'm Dylan Banana Boy Lakes. Sure, that's what we're going with.
Tyler Chambers.
What a loser.
Man.
What an absolute loser. You
gotta
don't even
keep
know
it
a
simple.
cool middle name.
He's always the cleanup crew at the end, and it's always,
I gotta keep
it's
the
always
structure.
Tyler
Too much
Boring Chambers is what
Yeah,
we're
pretty
gonna call
much.
too much pressure.
Tyler Vanilla
you.
Chamber.
I'll
Tyler
have extra
Salt is
vanilla.
too spicy Chambers.
Salt is the spiciest spice.
Salt is spicy Chambers. All right. So if you have been following, if you haven't,
Then thank you.
welcome. If you have, thank you as well.
And if you haven't, we get
Well, screw you.
Wow, Dylan, way to sell us short.
But so this is Budget Bits. We like to take a game that is around the $20 point or less. It's not this is like the elevator pitch sale. It's not really professionally written down, but anything that's around $20 and less, we will bring it here. We'll find a game that we all like. We'll play it. Well, it looks interesting. We don't know if we like it, I should say. Then we all play it, and then we come back here, we record it, talk about it, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and then we'll give a rating, an individual rating, and then you go and play it. And then you go and have fun, or you don't have fun because it was a fun game, or it wasn't a fun game. Yeah, that's basically what we do here. If you also have been following along, you know we haven't posted an episode in like freaking 6 years.
At least 2 weeks.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been like 6 weeks. It's been close. We try to post every 2 weeks, and it's been like 6 weeks. We have the quick, down and dirty explanation for you. One of them is that I took a very, very misfortunately timed vacation that was like
that synced up with
the worst possible timing with everyone's availability. Like as soon as people were available, I said deuces. I'm out of town.
Yeah,
Bye.
let's be honest. You were the biggest inconvenience here.
We're getting to that one. I started with the smaller. And then when I came back, it was like, all right, let's do it. And then just shut up. You get it. Life happens. And then the next big one, I'm gonna let big boy Dylan take it.
Oh wait, yours is bigger than mine?
No, the next. Did I say the smaller? I said bigger. Did I say bigger?
Now,
I don't know.
Now I'm confused.
Retroactively, I said the next bigger thing.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Says.
I was hoping that you're saying your vacation was more
No.
important.
Wait a minute. I was starting with the smaller one, and then
Are you
going
saying
to
your
the big one.
vacation was bigger than what happened on my end?
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Nothing happened with
has
Tyler.
been busy
Tyler
as well.
has been the goodest boy
Wait a minute.
ever.
Yes.
He's been ready to
I
go.
can think of
He's been
something.
doing his
Hold on.
Homework. Okay. While Dylan tells us,
I'll
think
think
of
of
your
something.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, and no, I really just thought that was going to be hilarious. I thought that's what you meant. But no, me and my wife had our second child. His name is Levi. He's doing great.
Yay.
So he's, I think about, it should be about 4 weeks old.
He'll be
so
like
maybe
4
he's-
years old here soon.
Yeah, he's going to.
He's gonna pass Eliza.
You're gonna pass
Yeah,
Eliza.
no,
You never know.
That's how it, dude, kids age faster and slower somehow. It's crazy.
weird.
They just But yeah, he's doing really good, sleeping really good for us. It's been awesome. Mainly it's just teaching Eliza, hey, be gentle. Don't jump near him.
This
His
isn't
head
a
is
toy.
fragile. Be careful.
He's not
this
your
is not
baby
a baby
doll.
doll.
Yep.
Do not grab him by the ankle and throw him over your shoulder. But she's been getting better with it. It's been she just likes to plop down. That's the best way I can explain it. She just, like, if on the bed, on the floor, it doesn't matter. She just slams down. Like, and she's gotten so close, and I've been like, honey, you gotta Rein it in, baby.
Pile driving that baby.
Yeah. But yeah, they've been doing great. I took 3 weeks off work and got to spend it with the family, so it was good.
So yeah, so we've been doing.
So yeah,
That's why we've been so long. This
But
is
in-
obviously not our full time job, so we put this. This is
Right.
definitely a put this
This
on
is
the
for
on the
funsies.
side show. This is the side thing. It can be canceled
Oh.
first, basically. So we did.
but we're having fun, and we're hoping you guys have fun listening when we do record.
Yeah.
So
Now we're back.
but yeah, so I had a child, and then about after a week or week and a half, when I could record like at nights, Justin had his vacation. It was just a timing thing. But we're back, and we're stronger from it. I think we're stronger.
And Tyler
Specifically Tyler is
just
stronger. He's been-
remembered. I think I'm getting breaking news. Tyler just remembered why he was delaying the recording. We're gonna shoot over to Tyler for that.
Yeah, so on my end, some crazy big news.
Oh,
And I've not even told you all.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's how big this is.
Okay.
Oh no.
I've seen a couple movies with Christian on the weekend since we're
Oh
not
my
recording.
gosh. Oh,
we had a yard sale today that had a pretty good turnout.
Oh my gosh. Our neighbor had a yard sale. We didn't participate, but I wish we did. Oh snap.
We did participate
Oh.
as well. We had a yard sales fun.
What else? I've been playing. Well, are we talking about that yet? Yeah. You know what? Screw it. Been playing some games.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that next. But yeah, whatever.
Some games.
Some games.
know
That's
what?
good.
Let's just
I'm
go right into that.
transitioning into it.
Well, this is a transition. What are we playing? This is what we're playing. Go ahead, Tyler. Tell us.
All right. So for all my mobile game fanatics out there, which
I'm
are
checking out.
slim to few. Yeah, really.
Just saying on.
You
I
lost me in
don't
Justin.
play a lot of mobile games myself. Every time I try to start one, I usually fizzle out on it. There was one I kept seeing ads for. It was Monopoly Go. And I was
Dude,
like,
I've seen so many ads for that too.
yes. So I finally broke down. I started it, and I was like, this is like the most mindless game to play, but the rewards are so rewarding that it just kept sucking me in. So
It's got the dopamine. It's drawing you in.
You have the brain of a 13-year-old, my
yes, I do. So pretty much like, every time you would like log in, you get all these like, ooh, here's some more dice, keep rolling, and I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And then
You've enacted bonus dice.
honestly, yeah, you get like a dice multiplier. I mean, it was crazy. So anyways, premise of the game is like Monopoly. I mean, you could play with and because it's called like Monopoly Go, it's like any other something Go game. So you play with friends. And there was some times I would log in and only be able to play for like 10 minutes because the dice reset. And then there was other times where it just keeps feeding you dice. I'd be on there for 2 hours. I was like, this is nuts.
Where did the time
Yeah,
go?
What do you
really.
have to do? Recharge your dice to keep playing?
Yeah, so your dice is on
Yeah,
cooldown depending on how much you use per roll.
But I bet you can buy gems or coins.
Oh, the
for a
microtransactions
fee.
are stupid, and a lot of people buy into it. So, anyways, I was playing that, and somebody posted on like a Facebook group of what level they were on. Well, on the boards, it only goes like 126. Some guy posted, he's like, yeah, I'm on 500 or something. I'm like, okay, cool. So there's no end game here. So I deleted it. If there's no end game, I'm not interested.
So it's essentially kind of like a Candy Crush.
It's-
I'm on
yes.
I'm on level 2,500.
Yes, Candy Crush is never ending. This game is never ending. Apparently, they just recycle boards, he was saying. And I'm like, oh,
Dude,
okay, I
that-
have zero interest to continue.
Okay. That makes me think of another mobile game you got addicted to at one point that drove me nuts, and it's the money making.
Oh,
one.
yeah. Make it
Brave-
rain.
No,
make
not
it rain.
Brave.
Frontier.
No, make it rain.
Make it
where
rain.
he literally tapped a button to
It
make
just makes
money.
money shoot out.
It was
and that's
fantastic. It was
And
mindless.
that's it. Like this was a long time ago, but like we're over like playing games and stuff, and he's over here tapping making money. I was like, "What are you doing,
Just making it rain.
dude?" I got $7 million right now.
Yeah, that was another. I don't even know if that game's still out there, but that was so stupid.
I don't know. That was forever ago, but that's what made me think of.
The other mobile game I've actually been consistently playing, which is actually really fun, is called Tower of God. And premise of it is you want to make your way to the top of the tower because your community is like an underground community, and the object is get to the top to see the world, pretty much. And they say like only gods are able to transcend to that level, so that's basically your goal. So that's a really fun game. It just came out not too long ago, actually, maybe a month or two. But
I tried to start a mobile game,
yeah,
and it's a mobile game that I should like, and I hated it and uninstalled it.
Oh, no.
Which is I love Final Fantasy VII. I don't want to talk too bad about it, but the new Ever Crisis came out, and I for sure signed up for like to be notified and pre-installed and all that jazz, and played it, and that is
bad game.
I mean, I don't like it at all. Like, I like the art. The art's cool, but it's just touch go. Like, it doesn't support controller, which I have an issue with. Think of this. I don't want to go too far into it, but it's like a game in between the original Final Fantasy VII and like the remake. It's like an in between. Like, hey, you could experience the story this way if you'd prefer.
Oh yeah.
And like the characters are more chibi, but like the cutscenes and the like when you attack, it will be like the Final Fantasy VII remake style. But yeah, it doesn't support controller and everything's in Japanese.
Oh,
kind of blew me away.
How do you even start that longer than 5 seconds?
I don't know.
If I
thought
saw
for
that,
sure
I would shut it down immediately.
Absolutely.
I thought, well, it has English subtitles, but I was like I don't understand because the Final Fantasy VII remake is of course in English, and this just isn't, and there's no plan for it. So I was like, okay. I was like, and the first thing was like, if it doesn't use a controller and it's just touch, like I can't. I don't know why, but I can't get past it usually. Especially if it's a game that I can enjoy other ways.
I can imagine Justin opening a game like that and it going ooh woo, and he instantly just deletes.
I instantly throw the phone away.
Yeah,
he's like, not today.
I don't need technology anymore. I think I'm done with it.
I'm going back to Nokia.
I'm going back to the bartering system.
That was the last one. That was the last mobile game I tried and was like, nah, fam.
Yeah.
And they've gotten a little bit of a heat from that. I'm not the only one that feels that way about that game.
Oh, I can imagine.
But what's cool, like, is the art is really cool because, like, when like characters talk, the character portraits are like in almost like an anime drawn style, and that part's really cool. But everything else is like goo goo gaga, turn base, hit this, do this, and you win.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So.
Oh, that's one thing I will say about Tower of God is the cinematic scenes are unbelievable. I mean, they are so good.
Nice.
But moving away from the mobile game, the PC side of things, I've gotten a lot of time into Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that game has been pretty fun. It's like it's almost like a Call to Dead by Daylight, but it is different enough to make it its own unique game.
Yeah, I played that one night with you guys.
Yeah.
And from somebody who got real burnt out on Dead by Daylight, I like this. It is different enough to where I had a good time. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Like for me, it's it has skill trees, and like I'm a sucker for any game that has like a skill tree because you pretty much make your character how you want, which is fantastic. So I've been playing quite a bit of that. I've tried to play it in my downtime or my like playing games alone. It's not as fun unless you're playing with a friend. It's just kind of
have to be more fun with friends though.
Yeah, like Dead by Daylight, I actually enjoy. I could play by myself. This one, I feel like I can't just because one, I haven't played it enough to really understand all the mechanics. But also it is hard to play as like a victim. If you're
Justin, have you played it?
No, I haven't. I want to. It's on my wish list.
It is.
So maybe explain the biggest difference from Dead by Daylight is that there's not just one killer.
Yeah. So Dead by Daylight is a 4v1. This is a 3v4. So 3 killers, 4 victims. I think all the characters, if I'm not mistaken, and I probably am wrong about this, but are from the actual Texas Chainsaw universe.
I think so. It seemed like that, right?
I know one of them is for sure. I don't know about the other ones for sure, but
that, to me that added a new spin on it. Like there being multiple killers because we're playing and I'm awful at it. I'll just put that out there. I'm not good at those type of games at all.
Yeah.
But I had a lady chasing me like with knives and stuff. So I'm running and I jumped down a well thinking I'm fine. I literally jumped into Leatherface's arms. And he just murdered me and I'm like, I'm dead. I'm at the bottom of a well. Like, leave me.
Dude, those instances suck. And then there's like when you're trying to escape the basement to get off the farmland, and you go up a ladder and then they're just waiting for you. And you're like, okay, well.
It's all real people, right? It's not like bots or anything, is there?
No, it's real people.
It's all real
I don't
people.
even know if you could play with bots. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
That's one thing I wish Dead by Daylight had was you could do like a practice mode so you can get familiar with the maps.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know if you can do that either.
How many maps are there in this?
Just off the top of my head, I feel like there's at least three. And they change it by like day and night. So you can play the same map twice, but one could be day and one could be night.
So it's not how big are the maps? They gotta be pretty big, huh?
They're pretty big. They're pretty good
big.
size.
Wait, like you have to escape certain parts to get to different parts of the map, and then escape.
Yeah. Oh, and
it's not like Dead by Daylight.
It's like an onion. It's got layers.
Yes,
it's got layers, like a
an
parfait.
ogre.
You know, parfait has layers.
So that's what's cool about it is, so like in Dead by Daylight, you got to do 5 generators, get out 2 exits, or use the hatch. In this game, there are multiple ways to get out. So there's different gates that are like electrified that you have to knock down the electricity to, or there's like a pressurized gate. You can make it overload and open the gate that way. You can escape from the basement, which is called like a sewer exit, I believe. You can escape that way. I mean, there's multiple ways to get out on this game, and that's what makes it pretty fun, is because it makes it hard when you're the last one standing because there's no other distractions. It's you versus 3 people. So then it's hard, but as you're playing, everybody can go for different exits if they want.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And it is on Game Pass if you have that.
It is. I did get Game Pass for a month just to try the game, and I really like it.
I was curious if you were playing on Game Pass or Steam. I forgot to ask.
Yeah, I haven't bought it, but I might.
It might be cross-platform. I want to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If I was to buy it on Steam now, does all my progress go over?
See, you would think it wouldn't, but I have had an instance before where mine did.
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna look into before I actually buy it.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think that's it on my end. I think that's all I've really been playing.
All right. Justin, what you been playing, my man?
Baldur's Gate 3. Have you heard of it? It's a little unknown indie game.
It's a hidden gem.
Hidden gem of a game. No one's really been talking about it.
It was hidden for 3 years in beta.
Yeah,
for sure,
I've just been a little sucker for Baldur's Gate. I love.
Also a good game.
We're D&D fanboys.
They've put a ton of work into that game. It's honestly astounding.
It's so good. It's fantastic. I haven't even genuinely. I know I haven't even scratched the surface of what's even possible in this game, and it's still so much fun. Already.
What kind of character did you make?
I made a tiefling barbarian.
Ooh.
Nice. You've always liked the bards.
I love angry barbarians, dude.
If he's not a healer, he's a barb.
Dude, it really is.
That is so true, dude.
I'm not
You're
giving
either
you as
support
much health
or
as possible, I'm taking away as much health as possible.
yeah. I'm either ending your life or saving your life. No in between. I am a firefighter.
I have no charismatic. I heal you or I kill you. That's it. That's the only 2 in betweens.
Nice. You get no gray with Justin.
Nice, dude.
I really don't have a lot to say about it for 2 reasons. I haven't really got that far into it. Anything I do say will be kind of spoilers. It's basically a D&D, the game. Okay, there you go. That's all you really need to know.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's great.
Everything is all source material. I don't know how to talk. Material from D&D.
From Wizards.
It's there. Okay, if you want a video game to play stuff like that, that's it. Okay, go play it. 2, everyone freaking knows what Baldur's Gate 3 is. Okay, it's the biggest game right now. So I'm not gonna talk about it that much.
Yeah, we'll have to get Casey in here on like our solo
Casey
rant.
is
Oh,
an
Case,
expert at Baldur's Gate.
insane.
Okay, so I have told him for the last 3 years because, like I said, I got it on beta and have played it and watched them kind of grow. I've told Casey so many times, like, dude, you're gonna be addicted to this, and now I'm seeing the fruits of it. And he's like been playing it for like a week or so.
Oh, he's got
and
like 50 hours. I think
he's like,
into it
yeah,
now.
I've got 80 hours. Yeah.
Oh,
no
is he
problem.
80? Okay,
Dude,
cool.
he's up there.
He probably by now, I would say he probably is.
For all those in our Discord and you want to know any more about it, just Trashman. Trashmon? Trashman? Trashmon.
Yeah, hit him up.
Yeah, ask him about it. He'd give you everything
'cause-
you need to know.
Yeah, because I made my character from my first ever D&D campaign, who was a druid chef, and I was asking him like, "Hey, can I get a frying pan as a weapon?" Because that's what his weapon was and stuff. When we played, and the closest thing he's been able to tell me is that I can get apparently a stick of salami and use that as a weapon and cast like shillelagh on it, and that sounds amazing.
Classic.
So I got
Shillelagh
so now
on
my-
salami. That's hilarious.
So yeah, now my quest of the game is to find the sacred salami. I don't know what else they're wanting me to do, but that's what
This
I'm
is the
doing.
main
The
quest.
main
yeah.
quest
This
is the
is the
side
main
quest.
quest.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
That's another one of those games that if you played like games like Skyrim and two Bethesda games of this Fallout, where they give you this main quest and they're like, hey, this is the main quest, but look at all this other stuff you can do though. If you get super distracted by that, you will. I don't think you're gonna finish the main quest of this game.
Rabbit hole
It
all the
is
way down.
stupid deep of just like look at all this other shiny stuff you can touch over here though.
Yep.
Pretty great.
It's pretty wide. All right, that's all I've got. That's all I've been playing is Baldur's Gate.
Okay. I've been playing my solo games that I've been playing. I also have been playing Baldur's Gate 3. The way they did it is like my first campaign I can't play since it's fully released. You would have to load like an old file, and I don't want to do that. So I started all the way over, especially since it's been a year or two since I played. But I won't go into all that. But I've been very much enjoying it as much as everybody else. But the game that has my full unaltered attention is a game I've been waiting for at least a year or two. I've been watching it was on Kickstarter, that kind of thing, but it's from Sabotage Studio. It's called Sea of Stars. This is their second game, but this is their first take on a JRPG. And I love it. It's between all the amazing sprite work. And yes, it's a JRPG and it is turn-based, but it's like active turn-based. So think like Paper Mario, like when you hit, if you react at a certain timing, you get another attack and stuff like that. So it's like Chrono Trigger or Golden Sun or the closest style of games that it's close to. But I think what I want to talk about the most about it is because like a lot of people don't like JRPGs. I completely.
Who?
It's not. They're not for everyone. But I would argue that this one is. This one does some things that make like quality of life for JRPGs so much better. Like, for instance, like they introduce relics in this game, and the relics you can turn on and off. You can basically play the game how you want it. It's made to where you can make it as difficult on yourself or as easy as yourself to enjoy like the story that you want. So like it's the quality of life things. I won't go fully into it, but like one of the ones in particular that like people hate about JRPGs, I personally love. But like after a battle, like say two of your characters are like at half HP, and you have to go through your items, heal up, or cook food, and make a different potion and heal up. That's like typical JRPG stuff. Well, there's a relic you can turn on that just as soon as you end battle, max HP. So It's a cool quality of life thing that if you don't want to go through menus, deal with items, you just want to experience the story, they make it to where, yeah, you can do that. They give you relics that make it harder. That like if you're finding this too easy and want to be challenged, here, turn this on, dude. And it's just so simple that I haven't seen any JRPG do that I'm like, this is like the future for JRPGs. I hope people take note of this game because it's just so good how they do it. I don't know how else to explain it. But I would and this is also on Game Pass day one. So if it's something you think looks cool but you've never been into JRPGs, start here is my advice. This is a good one to where you can control how you enjoy a game, and I think it's really neat. And I applaud Sabotage Studios. They had a goal for like a year's worth of sales to be 1.5 million. They met that in like 2 weeks.
Word up.
That's awesome.
So so they've really like crushed it. But definitely check this out. I highly recommend it. I think I've got about 10, 12 hours into it, and anytime I have like some alone time and some time to like unwind, this is my go-to game right now.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, dude.
Very cool. All right, so we're back to our game that we were talking about. What we're gonna talk about, which we haven't said. I don't think we've said it. This has been a long time we've been talking about it.
Well, we've been reintroducing like what we're doing and where we've been. And I think we got kind of distracted with what we've been playing.
But I don't know if it slipped up at any point. I don't think it did. But anyways, the game is PlateUp. If you have not heard of it, it came out last year. Actually, I'm looking at it now. August 4th, 2022. So a year and a month ago.
So long ago.
How about that?
I know.
Definitely not been playing it that long.
No. But we've had some good times with
So this is a game we kind of played before. Before what? Before like we even talked about recording this episode with it. Like someone found it and they talked to us and we started all playing it. And it was just a blast. But in the old format, for the veterans out there, it was $15 or less hard limit. Well, this one is $20, so it became possible to talk about this one. So I think that's the main reason we're bringing it up now, and we're like, hey, this is a freaking great. Why are we not talking about this?
I mean, that's a good point. Like, and why we like should we let $5 not let us not recommend a great game to you guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So, spoiler alert, it's going to be a pretty positive reaction because we already played this before we started, but we're still going to talk about it and tell you all about it. But before we start that, I'm going to tell you, I am sorry. I'm getting over an illness too, so I'm going to sound like trash sometimes. So pardon me.
It's just a regular session.
Just regular me, baby. From the Steam description, it says, cook and serve your dishes, design and decorate your restaurants, and expand your culinary kingdom with new unlocks, abilities, and dishes in procedurally generated locations. Classic cooking action with permanent roguelike progression. Hire your friends or do it all yourself. So, basically, it is just a rogue. If you've played Overcooked or seen Overcooked or what it's about, where it's sort of a rage game.
It's similar.
But team building. But the rage comes from working with your friends. Yeah, that's a great rage game. I love.
Imagine if you and your friends, and if your friends are as silly as mine and as me,
as you, Dylan,
as me.
Yeah, don't throw us in there.
Hey, I wash dishes real good. Okay,
you can't even do that.
But
you can't even.
I get distracted. Oh, shut up.
Shut up.
Oh.
See, this is it. This is right here. This is already it.
That's the idea. You start a restaurant with your friends. And you watch it burn to the ground, and it's hilarious. It's one of those that like you have to have good communication with each other, and everyone has to know what they're doing, or you're gonna fail.
You need a role, you need a job, you have to stay in your place, you have to do what you're told, and sometimes you have to be a little flexible with what you're doing. But some people like to be more flexible than they should be, and everything comes crumbling down. Yes, we're talking about.
I don't know
Dylan.
what you're talking about. Yeah. Listen, I'm limber, baby.
So the difference between this and Overcooked, I'll sum it up, is Overcooked basically gave you pre-generated levels, pre-generated like orders and stuff that is going to come to you, and you just have to fill it out and throw it. So like if you go into the game, you don't know what the layout's going to be. But once you play that first level, okay, that's what it's going to be forever. Yeah. This game is different where it starts you out with a familiar setup, but every single closing day, you get new stuff that you can buy with the money you earned. So, like, let's say you desperately need counters to work on preparing the food. Well, you don't know if a counter is going to come up during the closing time so you can buy. So you may have to just work the entire next day being basically a counter down, and you need that. And there's different equipment, like you can get sinks, you can get, what else is there? There's ovens, burners, bunch of different kitchen equipment, stuff for the dining room. There's all of it's upgraded. It's crazy. Like, we just played it in our last playthrough, and we saw something we had never seen before. And we put, what, 20 hours into the game already?
Dude, at least. Like,
yeah, I put 18.2 hours into the game. So
it's the roguelike mechanics that make every single time you play this game completely different.
It feels so nice. And there's different menu items that you can start out with. And once you get to certain days, it like gives you basically, I want to say the best way to describe it is like a fork in the road. So like you go down one path from the other. So like if you want it to be, there's 3 different bonuses if you choose this path, but there's 3 different bonuses if you choose one path. But once you pick it, you're committed. That's the only bonuses you can get for that restaurant. You can never see those other bonuses again. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
We really like it. That's basically a little bit about it. But Dylan's going to take it over with gameplay.
Yeah, and gameplay is so... the gameplay is simple, but this is not an easy game. Is the best way to describe it. Is you have like literally, it's a 2-button game for the most part. You pick stuff up, you chop stuff, you put it together, you combine it, you plate it, you serve it, and that's all you're doing. But like we might for instance, we might have Justin serving, like so he's like out and think like he's waiting on tables and taking orders, and might be
Screaming
in
orders
the kitchen.
back.
Screaming orders to the kitchen, which Tyler might be in, and I might be washing dishes or wherever I've been completely boxed in and made their own room for. But everyone ends up falling into a role, and it's I think it's neat. The gameplay is, like I said, it's very simple, but things get so hectic so fast because I'm not kidding. If you pick up the wrong thing at the wrong time, you could just completely lose the game. You can make absolutely one wrong click and you're holding a dirty dish and nowhere to put it, and the timer's ticking down on someone's order. Because so there's a timer that starts out if someone's waiting on an order and you take it, and if you don't meet that in time, you're done. Your journey with this restaurant
these are nothing but Karens that come to this restaurant.
Yes, think of every single one of these people as Karens, and as soon as you make one mad, that they've ruined you.
They press the button. They've went on the internet. Restaurant. It's impressive.
Yes, but yes, if you have one customer that timer gets all the way down and they just leave, you're absolutely done. You can consider your restaurant done. But that's another really cool thing about this game is that you can make your restaurant your own. Like Overcooked, you have pre-generated levels that you just play through, and it's super fun, yes. But this, you get to name your restaurant, you get to pick what you serve, you get to like kind of design it, and it's really fun. And it's fun and it's wacky and hilarious. Like we ended up having birthday banners everywhere in our Budget Bits playthrough, and it was just so funny.
Yep. It was hilarious.
But
I think of all people, Dylan, if you're close to done, it sounds like you were close to done, should expand on the mod support for the game as well.
Okay. Well,
briefly, I know you have a lot to say.
So, okay, yes, this is really, really cool. I'm glad you brought it up because the modding community has went banana nuts with this game, because you can go to, like, if you have this on Steam, you can go to the workshop easily and install all kinds of mods. Now, there's some mods that like take other mods that you have to have installed to make them work. And what I found out in our playthrough is that if you have mods turned on and your other friends don't, they won't see them.
It's unplayable.
It's unplayable. So if you are wanting,
makes it more challenging.
Yeah, it's expert mode.
Exactly, because yes. But there's all kinds of different, like there's like different character outfit packs There's different food you can serve. There's different. Justin mentioned the forks in the road. Like they give you like an option, like one or two. Like which one do you want to do for your restaurant? They change all kinds of stuff with that. It's just a heavily modded community that like has came together and made all these cool stuff. But if you're going to go down that road, absolutely make sure other people in your group have installed these mods, and it's simple as a click of a button. Don't think of this type of mods with the Steam Workshop as anything intensive, because it's not. It's just literally hitting an install button. It takes seconds. So that's awesome. But it adds I think it adds omelets. You can have like waffles and serve waffles. You can have a brewery. It adds all kinds of silly stuff. So get in there if you end up liking this game, especially like getting in and playing with mods. I find fun, but absolutely make sure that your other party members know that everyone else has to have it too, or they just won't see these assets.
And to emphasize as well, you don't need these mods for this game to be fun.
No,
just the vanilla is fantastic.
We love the game before we even knew there were mods for the game. So don't if you were a purist, yes, and you're like, I can only play vanilla just as the developer intended and nothing else. Right. It's still fun. You're still gonna love it. It's a
we could serve pizza every single time we played, and we'd
still have fun. Yep. It's not so much about the food that is being served. It's more so about customizing and building the restaurant and getting different stuff every day and go like, oh, how do we customize the kitchen now?
I do want to ask. I'll go ahead and just ask the question. Like, do you guys like this better than Overcooked?
Yes.
Immediately. I liked it more than Overcooked.
Okay. 100% on the same page with me then. I didn't know if it was the roguelike mechanics that I liked.
It's the roguelike mechanics.
Yes. But it's not fully just the roguelike mechanics. It's the designing of your own restaurant. It's not the cookie cutter level.
You get so much more freedom in this game, and that's what makes it better.
Yeah. Exactly. You make it your own. You're naming your restaurant Papa Jean's. Just being goofy with it, and it's a great time. And if you did like Overcooked, you gotta play this game. I think.
Yeah,
Overcooked
for sure.
did such a good job of, introducing people into that style of game, just like with cooking.
But you got Diner Dash
games.
and Cooking Mama that all kind of was in the beginning before Overcooked.
Right. But then you get three of your friends together in the kitchen. Now it's chaos.
Until Overcooked, I hadn't been really verbally abused in a game. I for one enjoyed it.
Yeah, but in the game, that's what's crazy is when you're playing it, it's like, yeah, I deserve it. I'm an idiot. I am so bad. I'm so sorry.
I'm a big dummy. I am so sorry.
To wrap up the gameplay of it, I will say too, this is with other games as well, something like this, when everything starts working together. I know it's a rage game, but dude, it is euphoric when everything is working together workflow nicely.
It's an epic good, epic bad game.
If you want, I know we try not to take games too seriously, but boy howdy, if you just had us at random segments where we're like deep in a run, you will find us focused so hard, and we are like throwing call outs to each other like, yo, pizza's ready. Hey, I gotta get dough. I need dirty dishes. I'm dirty dishes. Gotta get some dirty dishes off the table. I got you. I'm coming in. Dude, we are just calling out, and there's no goofs, no gaffes. We are just dead serious.
And I think back to it was a game. It was a run through that me and you were serving together.
Yeah. And
we were just buzzing. We won that one. And that was, it was just like, okay, I got three ready. All right, you can go.
Yeah, we were, once you get late, obviously the first half of the run, and it is basically, it's kind of an infinite run, but basically it's going to get to the point it's so impossible that you will never finish. You will lose.
And it's cool.
But yeah, the first half, you can goof and gaff and haha, it's funny. But dude,
But there's a
second
there's a
half,
point.
you gotta focus up, buddy, because you will lose if you don't focus.
And another thing that's cool, and I don't know if we touched on this, but in between rounds, you can still edit all kinds of stuff in your restaurant.
Yeah.
So there are times when you, especially if you watch back our video, there's times where this isn't working. I'm washing dishes in front of a door. Justin has a burning pizza. It's not working. We got to change that.
Yeah.
And then the next round, even just moving like the sink 2 spots over, we're like, oh, dude, this is it.
This is the setup.
We did it. And then like it just builds, and like each round you're like, okay, this could be this way a little bit better, and it gets a little bit better. And as you play, you just start like learning like how to like just it's like a little well-oiled machine, and it just like you said, euphoric. Like you just feel good about like what you've done.
It's like if you've ever played Tetris and you have like all the blocks, and you're just piling up out of nowhere, but then you get that line of like 4 or 5, and you get that long block you've been waiting on, and it just disappears all those rows. Oh my god, it's like that.
Mama.
Like for instance, when we were playing, if I could just like, I was going and taking orders, like at 3 tables, going to grab the orders, bringing them back, taking the dirty dishes as they were finishing. I mean, it was just such a smooth flow line.
Especially when we figured out that the little conveyor could put the dirty dishes in my sink for me. I was like, oh, this.
Oh boy, spoilers, there's conveyor belts.
Yeah.
There is.
Wow. Game's ruined.
I didn't know
Game's
it was a
ruined.
spoiler.
The whole narrative is shot.
Cut that out.
You still have to figure out how to use the dang thing.
That's true.
Do we have anything else to add to that? I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
Pretty good chunk of the premise.
Yeah, I think we hit on most of it. If we want to give ratings, can start if you'd like.
Wait.
Tyler's got to talk about.
We got to talk about the difficulty of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I thought that's what Justin was saying. Is that?
Oh no.
That was it for the
more stuff to talk about.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah. So this game can be as difficult, really, as you want it to be. I mean, from the very start of how your restaurant's laid out to exactly what you make. It could be something as easy as like a salad, and you need lettuce, tomato. Or you can do something as extravagant as like luxurious. I don't know what all the options are. I haven't played them all. But it gives you the rating, before you start to level like 1 to 3 stars or 1 to 5, something like that.
I think it goes to 5, yeah.
It's 5. So, yeah, you make it as difficult as you want. You start it in. As you're playing, you can make it even more difficult. You can have somebody like Dylan who's on the phone to call in more customers because it's not already chaos. Let's add more to it. So the benefit of doing that,
I'm a difficulty setting in and of myself.
Yeah. Plus he's in the way, and you got to work around him. So it's like another door. So that's what's cool about the phone calls is you reap the benefits though, because it makes it harder. Yes. But on the upside, you make a lot more money for upgrades going into new rounds. Now, obviously, you don't want to, make phone calls the longer you're on a run, because then it becomes very, very stressful and more chaotic. But yeah, I mean, the difficulty can be, it does get harder as you go. I mean, that's just a given. You got group sizes from like 1 to 2, and then it can go all the way up to like 6 or something. So depending on your restaurant layout, what food you choose, how you who's doing what in the kitchen, this game can be easy. Well, I'm not gonna say easy. This game can be not too stressful to where you can complete it, or this game can be overly stressful and chaotic to where you're just still having a good time in the end, though, because you're watching everything burn in the chaos.
Yet again, this also is related and basically directly related to who you play with as well.
Yes. Dylan or Justin said earlier, it definitely helps to have everybody on a specific role. And if you're daring, you can change roles halfway through. I personally don't like that. If I'm doing one thing in the beginning, I'd rather see it through to the end.
I'll do
because
Listen.
everybody has their own workflow. Like I might like the stove in a different spot than they would, but I'm not in there, so I'm not gonna move it.
Yeah, play this with friends that make it more challenging, like me.
Yeah, like Dylan. Dylan's like expert mode on a run.
My certain type of ADHD is hyperfixation, and I get hyper focused on one thing, and if I stay focused, I'll do really well actually. But
you can't focus.
if something's shiny over there, or if there's a floor that needs cleaned, and if you see me getting distracted, usually I get yelled at, like, stay in your lane.
Yeah, Dylan be the dude in the middle of a lunch rush or dinner rush in an actual restaurant, and he'd just be mopping the dining room for absolutely no reason.
He's
like,
that
it needs a
guy-
mop. It needs a mop. It's dirty. It needs a mop.
It's like when you go to like Walmart
shoot.
on like Black Friday and there's one person at the register and Dylan's walking around like, you need some help with something? Or it's like, yeah, get your butt on a register.
Yeah, he's stocking candy bars at the registers or something.
Yeah, singing.
That's Dylan.
This Snickers is like just slightly off. Let me fix
It's
it.
important.
Yeah, the label needs to be pointing out.
There's a reason I've never been a waiter. Okay.
Yeah, just
There's
play
a
this
very
game
good
and
reason,
you'll
and
understand.
it's because I know that I can't do it. That's why I try to tip well.
I do want to bring this up. I've only ever played this with friends. So is there a
That's
bot
true.
setting, or is it just a play by yourself?
I think it's either. I don't think there's any bots. I think it's play by yourself only.
Okay, so play by yourself or friends.
That brings up a good point. I never even thought about playing this game by myself.
I have played it by myself.
have
Casey
you?
is Casey. Casey's basically like the fourth.
He's
but
the
kind of part of-
shadow.
But yeah, he's like the unofficial member of the group.
He's the underbelly of Budget Bits.
If he had
But
the more
he
time
is-
to record, he'd be here.
Not a fan of playing it by yourself. I
Yeah.
am a fan of playing it by myself.
Really?
So I think this is much more of a personalized issue. Now, Casey likes to play by himself for a completely different. Casey likes to.
AC wants to break.
Okay, let me see. Casey doesn't
With the
like to play the vanilla game by itself. Casey likes to play the modded, broken, let me go into a
1,000.
sandbox god mode of this game. I like to play the vanilla and the game the way the developer intended it to. Single player. And I'm fine with it. I can play it for 3 hours if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to prepare all the meals, run
You
outside,
have to do
serve
everything
them.
yourself. Yep.
I'm getting stressed out. thinking.
Yes.
Dude, all right. So there was one night he was playing it, right? And I hopped on and I was like, oh, yeah, how far are you in? And he plays with mods. So, yeah, like Justin said, he breaks the game. He shared his screen. I kid you not. Dude, this restaurant was like 3,200 square feet. He had like 20
It's probably
conveyors.
fully automated.
It
was all
automated.
conveyors.
I don't even know what he was doing. I feel like he was just standing there watching his success. And I was
It
like,
gets to a point
is this
you're
fun?
scared of the creation that you've created.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand what
Dude.
happens, and if I touch it, it might break. So I'm not going to touch it.
He loves doing that with games. I remember him with Valheim. Oh my gosh, man. He had God mode where he could fly, and
dude, when he gets invested in games like this, though, he gets invested.
Hardcore into it, yeah.
right now he is.
Now it's
invested
Baldur's
in
Gate. So.
Yeah,
He's probably playing right now.
probably.
All right. So we're going to talk about the uniqueness of this PlateUp. I think the uniqueness, it's not too unique, really. It's basically, it's just, yeah, I don't want to say it, but it's just overcooked with roguelike elements, and you can customize the kitchen. It's not groundbreaking. It really is not.
Yep.
It's not like, holy, but Jesus, they're
Like
doing
I've
stuff
never
I never
played a
could have
game.
imagined video games could do. Yeah, it's not. It's just they perfected the game formula. It's just it's just
I
good,
think so.
solid fun.
Definitely heavily advanced on it.
I think they really took Overcooked and just expanded and succeeded.
Yeah, they were just
Yeah.
inspired by a lot of different games and just combined it into one. I really don't think
But-
that any developer was out there like this fantastic grand idea like I'm gonna change the industry as we know it with this one.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll say from like a roguelike perspective, because that's one of my favorite genres.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of cooperative roguelikes that succeed in this type of way.
Okay, so maybe there you
And
go. That's the
so
uniqueness it has out of it.
I will say it's unique in that sense for
Okay.
sure.
But other
because
senses, not really.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not that unique. Which is not a which is not
Not a
anything
dig,
at all
it's-
out of it. Nothing has to be groundbreaking. If you perfect something, more power to you. Freaking perfect it.
I mean,
But
honestly, though,
you don't
even-
have to create the newest, greatest, never before seen thing before either.
Yeah, that's what I want to bring up. Is like try to think of a newer game nowadays that's not like almost a reskin of something else. Like that is hard to do anything just in its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something is copying something always.
What is some philosopher said it, and we'll go to the next section because this seems like a stupid thing I'm going to say, but he said, "No thought is original,"
Yeah.
and I think that relates to here. Somebody look it up
Yeah.
and tell me how
So,
stupid I am when
I
you
think that
find
was
out I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Ecclesiastes 2.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes
Oh,
2, Socrates 4. I think he said that.
So what I'll say is this game does some unique things, but maybe the game as a whole wouldn't be considered.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good ribbon on there, Dylan. Good job.
Thank you. He's a bow.
All right, let's kind of speed over art and music because I don't think there's
Maybe-
really a
let's
lot to
just-
talk about this one.
Yeah.
We can just put that together.
Yeah.
The art is very much like it's derpy. It's derpy art. I guess we haven't talked about like what it looks like, but it's very. I don't know what to call the art, but like
Cartoony? Cartoonish?
cartoony. Think like Human Fall Flat style.
Yeah,
almost.
there you go. Just like blobs, humanoid
they're
blobs.
like little, and they just do the most hilarious little interactions when you're like chopping food and just arms.
Yeah, they just flail their
arms.
arms to interact with everything.
Yeah, and it's great, but yeah, it's charming though for sure. Like the art is very like approachable. It's pleasant to look at.
Yes. Music. What does it got? One soundtrack?
It's got like 3 different songs it plays.
Like
Yeah.
3,
There you
yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those categories. It's not going to blow you away, and you're not really here for the music. I'll say that.
Yep.
That's what I say. Yeah, don't download the
Ouch.
soundtrack if
Yeah,
they
to
sell
play
it.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, no need to go to the Steam store and buy the OST.
No, you got about 3 songs you're getting, and you're gonna be like, what the frig did I just download? But anyways, I think that wraps it up for that. Who wants to start? Who wants to give the first rating?
First rating. You me start?
Do it, big boy.
For this game, this is a for sure never uninstall. It will remain installed on my computer. I think it's so good to like hop back into. Like you have a certain amount of people like online, and we're like, oh yeah, let's do a PlateUp run. And it's just one of those games you keep installed on your computer. In my book, I am going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. I think it excels in every way that a roguelike should. And because like a good roguelike, you wouldn't uninstall, you would keep it installed and like I said, like pick it up and play a good run with some friends and that kind of thing. I think it's just that style of game that I particularly love, but I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. And if you even like remotely liked Overcooked, you should absolutely.
What would you say is holding it back from getting the 10 out of 10?
Honestly, I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
feel
I
like
feel
it's-
it's like a 9.
feel like it can improve
I-
somewhere. You just don't know where it can improve yet.
Exactly.
Maybe playing alone aspect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe if there was something that was drawing me to like play it even without friends, maybe that would make it a 10. But I don't want my rating to be like, oh well, he thought it was bad because he didn't do 10. No, I think it's great, and should absolutely check it out.
Yeah.
There's not really much bad about the game, honestly. That I can think of. I think it's great. I think it's at least deserving of a 9, if not a 10, if I were to give it more thought.
Word up. I think I'll help you out. Maybe you can agree or disagree with me on this one.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
9 to 9.5 for me. I'm really stuck between, so I'm gonna just stick with 9 just to be nice and solid with this one.
Okay.
Simply because I can see And wow, call me a selfish gamer here when I've already put 18 hours into it, and I'm like, maybe they should add this stuff to it. Which I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of it. But I feel like it'd be awesome if they had more variety of maps and like different what's the word I'm looking for? Effects, I guess. It doesn't feel like it's just the walls are different and that's basically the only difference that's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like
I can't think
so,
of a good
like, you're
example
saying-
right now, but
you're saying they're saying something different other than just the layout.
yeah,
bones
instead of
of,
just
like,
the walls are shaped like this now.
Like you have a
And there's
restaurant's
doors
more
here.
of a square versus a
Yeah,
rectangle.
maybe it's like a long tube, or maybe it's a
Yo.
big circle.
Hey,
It's like
maybe
a
you got
donut
two.
shape.
Maybe you have two floors.
That's what I
and
was
you have
thinking.
A revolving,
double
Yeah.
and you have a
floor.
revolving door.
That would be awesome. What
That'd
if
be
it's
sick.
you could have something like I'm just thinking of something to
Oh.
spitball. Like what if it was like a space theme one where you could like push meals away and they would float away from you or something if you didn't hold on.
Justin
to them.
was.
I don't
It
know.
was something. It was something you brought up while we were playing. I think it was you.
Yeah, I'll take credit for it if it was a good
Correct me.
idea.
Correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
it was
But
my
like
idea. It was a good idea.
we talked about that, like because like this is a game where you all see the same screen.
Oh yes.
So what would be cool is if like the kitchen couldn't see what the serving side was doing,
yes.
and vice versa, because that could add a different spin on it.
Yes, like if your
And-
player character is in the kitchen, you should be blinded from the dining area and
That
vice
sounds
versa.
so bad.
It sounds so
No,
fun,
but in the best
dude.
way possible,
Sounds
dude.
so
Yeah.
good.
So
chaotic.
fun.
Like, because you're a server, like waiting, you're like looking at your watch, and you're like, what is happening in that kitchen?
Yeah, and that's when you
just
want to
you
scream
can't
at
know.
them, be like, "What are you doing in there? I need this right now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very. I think that would be super fun.
So okay, yeah, that would.
So I think
I thought.
more variety in the maps and what you can do with them. Everything about the gameplay, I love. The gameplay, 10 out of 10. I love it. Don't change an element about that. I don't even want to say effects like that. I just want to say like different hazards in how we can keep playing the game, which I guess kind of falls in the gameplay, but
Yeah,
make it related to the map somehow. I guess I would love to see that. That's like one of the only gripes I have, and I think we kind of touched on it. The music kind of lackluster.
What if you're running like almost a Chick-fil-A style restaurant where you're running orders out to cars?
Something like that. I don't know.
Drive-through? Holy
Yeah,
cow.
like you're running a
Yeah.
drive-through now.
Bro.
You gotta handle the dining room and you have to handle a drive-through. That'd be kind of hype.
Yikes.
But I'll finish up. The music is lackluster. It kind of needs to be.
It's elevator music.
It needs to be expanded upon. It's fine right now, but it needs to be. It's just there right now for
Yep.
me. But that's all I got. That's all I said.
I'm gonna agree with you two as well. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. There is a few things I wish it did expand on. Like Justin was saying, if it was more visually pleasing and you could do more to like the outside. So instead of just, like he said, moving the walls, like if, like we were talking about, even adding a drive-through, something like that would be nice. I will say that that's one thing I really liked about Overcooked is even though it had pre-generated levels, the levels added something to make it unique and difficult. So like there was an icy level. You were slipping and sliding around. If they just did something like that, I think would be cooler. And like, you were making deliveries from one truck to the next truck on
That
a
was
highway. That was
horrible level.
chaotic.
Oh
One of
my
the
gosh.
things
And there's-
that I really liked about Overcooked, though, is when things did start going just absolute bonkers, the kitchen was catching fire. And that right
Oh,
there
dude.
that always hold a special moment in my heart. And I wish this game had something like that because there's nothing like that really. I mean, in Overcooked, when you're losing, it visually shows you you're losing.
There is
That's when
stuff that
I'm
catches
getting
on fire
screamed at.
on this game.
Oh,
but
yeah, if you use the burners, right?
it is not nearly as chaotic as Overcooked.
It doesn't set the rest of the kitchen on fire.
No.
Doesn't spread.
Yeah.
So that's a couple of things I wish it had, which is not to say that they can't add that later potentially. But yeah, definitely a solid 9 out of 10. Playing it with friends, definitely the way to go. I haven't played it solo myself, but I don't think this is one I would enjoy by myself. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Solid game. Really enjoy it.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Claps all around.
Claps. That was
Definitely
PlateUp.
making the Hall of Fame for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, this is definitely going to Hall of Fame
I-
for sure.
I will have to add that one.
This is a good time to mention our website, www.budgetbitspodcast.com. Go to there.
It's lovely. Drop
Oh!
us a message.
Price.
That's
by
what
the
I was
way.
gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah,
price now
okay, Tyler,
versus-
take it over. Take it over.
So yeah, we looked it up. I think Justin said it's a $20 game right now, right?
It is.
So we looked it
Full
up.
price.
The historical low is free, so it's become free at some point.
How'd you figure that out?
Shoot, I think I had a little fairy tell me or something.
Oh, that's
No,
awesome.
if you
Let's
go
move on to
there
next
by
segment.
the name
If
of.
you, we went to our good friend's website, isthereanydeal.com. We looked it up on there. It told us a historical low, and it'll give you, prices for when it's on sale at the moment. So
What's the
you're
current
not
best right
paying-
now?
I actually don't know what the current best is.
It is $12.97.
On?
It is 35% off on Game Billet, which is a recommended source.
There you go.
And I think we may. I know I have bought from that website. They provide Steam keys, and yeah, you can get 35% off. But if that's not cheap enough for you, then then make yourself a profile on that website. Put in PlateUp. Say I don't want to pay more than $10 for it, and they'll shoot you an awesome email as soon as that goes on sale on any platform or website that you can get it for. And that's just an awesome service that you can find at isthereanydeal.com.
It
Fantastic.
is simply incredible. We are not sponsored by them. We're not being paid to say this. We just simply love it that much. But we have contacted the owner.
Yeah.
Operator. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
The runner of the website.
The head honcho.
Basically talked about how much we love it, and we've been talking and worked together. So we're very much aware that we know each other, but he is not paying us to say this, and we just really love the service that much. So yeah. All right. So we'll get into the final part of this podcast. That was PlateUp. So we have these topic questions we would like to talk about at the end. It's more of an open-ended discussion. Just basically a small opinion piece from both of us or all of us. We could discuss it. Say shut up, I don't really care. Doesn't really matter. But that's just why we're here. So our question this week is, obviously you probably have heard us kind of talk about it a little bit, but we have, with games like PlateUp that feel like a reskin of a game like Overcooked, what other games would you like to Whoa, I butchered that. What other games would you like to see get a reskin? Anybody want to start with that? Otherwise, I will.
And we are also going to absolutely answer this question because that's the point of it. But if you have an answer for this question, absolutely send us a message at our lovely website that we mentioned. Or shoot us a message on wherever you can find us.
And I
social
think,
media.
if I'm not mistaken, there was a newish feature on Spotify, which I don't know if this extends out to everybody that gets their podcast. Don't shoot me. But I think there's a Q&A section that is added to the episode, which you can answer it there. That sounds like a fantastic spot to add something like that. And it can be as simple as, shut up and stop talking to me. That'd be cool. It'd be kind of rude, but don't say that. That's kind of mean.
Hey.
Or when this, episode drops, comment on it in the social medias.
Word.
That
All of
also
them.
works
You can find
but
all
yeah, who
those
wants-
where?
online.
www.budgetbitspodcast.com.
Word up. All right. Who wants to start?
Word to your mother.
I'll start.
You start, Justin. Okay.
Okay.
Mine will be
All right.
short and sweet. So, if you're a long-time listener to this podcast, you know that we have played a game called Labyrinthine. We started it, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And it
Okay,
finally
that's a
finished earlier this year, I think. I think they added their last chapter to it or whatever.
Yep.
And we beat
We
it.
did beat it. It's a fantastic game. It's so good. It's a horror-based
We
game.
were up late that night.
Way too late, and I
Way
regretted
too
it.
late. Yes.
It was a work night.
That was a work
It
night.
was
I
work night. It was
remember.
rough. But Labyrinthine, the way it plays with just the different puzzle levels and level designs and the enemy designs and stuff like that, I would love to see another game succeed where this game did. Like the story wasn't like the most enticing, but like as you're playing, you're like, who really cares?
Yeah.
So, if another game was to just do what Labyrinthine did with different puzzles and how to advance to the next areas, I would absolutely love that. That's what I've been trying to find in like a lot of horror games, but Labyrinthine stands above the rest in that aspect.
Yeah, I'm with you because like Labyrinthine was so unique because there's nothing to compare it to. Because in my opinion, a lot of modern day horror games rely too much on jump scares, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's just so much more to this game than just jump scares. I mean, that's what's funny about it is that it starts out by like just like toying with you,
It gives you the goofy jump scares.
yeah. But then it like separates you from the party and does all kinds of more stuff that truly make it, in my opinion, a horror game.
Oh yeah, it's a game that you'll play with friends, you'll get separated, not by choice, and then if you're using the proximity chat like we did, you just lose your mind, and it's so spooky.
Yeah.
And
you could honestly know exactly what to do and still struggle.
yes, yeah, the game is some
we
of the maps
did know
are insane.
exactly what to do, and we were still struggling.
Yeah, making your way through the levels is absolutely insane. But if you want to know more about it, go back to previous episodes. I think we have them labeled on the episode titles. I could be wrong about that,
I think so.
but it
It's a
might be
rough
in the
one.
description.
Go to the Hall of Fame on our website.
Yeah,
It's there too.
Yep.
do that. Go back and
yeah,
give us
and
a
you can
listen.
also
We talk about the game, the ratings, everything.
those also have Steam links attached to them as well, and you can it'll take you directly to the Steam page for it as well if you like the idea of it.
Those episodes will also have a fourth member that's no longer with us. It was very tragic. He
Yes.
Whoa!
he just he stepped away because he needed more time to himself.
But he is alive.
Yeah, he's perfectly. Why would you think he was not alive?
You said
That's
tragic,
so weird,
Justin.
Dylan, that's such a weird thing you would say. Why
Yeah,
would you
man.
ever say
Why'd you
that?
go dark like that?
Dylan, you're so dark, dude. He just needed time to himself. It was tragic because he left the podcast. Good gosh. So basically, it sounds like Tyler's what you want is a Labyrinthine 2.
Oh man,
That's all
Yeah.
you
I mean,
sounds
yeah.
like you want.
like the way. Okay,
I mean,
the way-
honestly, yeah.
not a spoiler, but like the way this one ended, they could easily transition into a second game if they wanted to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much with just different characters, and yeah, I think easily.
Yeah.
A Labyrinthine 2 or but in the sense of like a reskin, just a game that uses those type of elements instead of the haha jump scare. What's around this corner, jump scare. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just
I think I'll follow it up. I think I'll follow them up because mine's in the same realm.
Okay.
So, my gosh, what was it? 2 or 3 years ago? Phasmophobia. There's a game. I think it was 2 years ago. May have been 3 years
It
ago.
may have been longer, yeah.
Either way, you probably know what that game is. Basically, it's a ghost hunting game. You go to the house. It was a pretty big hit. It was. It blew up one day, and it was just that's what everyone was playing. And it felt like as quick as everyone started playing it, everyone stopped playing it. For that reason, I think I've chosen that one as the one I would like to give a reskin. I would love, because clearly the person that made it knows how to make. Because when I played it, listen, I am all about the spookiness. I love the suspense of it. I love the buildup of fear, because that's where really fear comes from. Because anybody can jump up from behind you and scream something really obnoxiously loud. Yes, you're gonna jump. That's not good horror. That's just your instincts kicking in and going, oh God, something just scared me real quick. Not the, holy crap, my adrenaline is pumping. This is, my breathing is getting faster. My heart's pumping faster because the fear is building up. So I would like to see what Phasmo did originally with so much unknown that they had. It felt like after like I don't know, like almost 5 to 10 hours of playing it, you almost figured it out. And once you figure it out, it's kind of gone at that point. So
Yeah.
I almost don't even know what I want. It's hard to say.
It honestly sounds like you might want a sequel.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even want a sequel. I almost want just the game
An enhanced
reworked
version.
a little bit. Just like something different thrown in there to where every time I load a level up, I know, oh, this is what I'm going to expect. I know these things are going to happen to me.
How long has it been since you played that?
It has been a while. I know they've been updating it.
They made it much harder and did add a few different entities.
So maybe they've already done what I'm asking for. Sorry.
I'm just saying maybe it's worth a revisit and see.
Hey, Devin, if they've done all this and I message you and say, hey, cut out what I said, this won't be here anymore. But even if that does happen, it'll probably still be here because we need the content, okay?
You didn't text me, so now everyone will know. And Dylan was correct. It's much different.
We're getting close to spooky season.
It is spooky season. Boy, I'm ready. All right, before we get too excited, let's go. Come on, Dylan, do it.
All right. And yeah, I'm going to end the note on not a spooky game.
Boom.
You suck.
But it's not a game we've played on Budget Bits, but it's the game is For the King, which is a turn-based cooperative game, almost in the style of like a board game setting.
It's fantastic.
Where it's so fantastic. And that's another game that does something so unique that why more games don't do it, I don't understand. And it's comes from I personally love turn-based games. But the thing is there's not that many cooperative turn-based games, and I don't understand why. Because this game does that in such a great way that makes it enjoyable for everybody. And correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, but I don't think turn-based takes away from it at all when it's multiplayer like that. Even people who don't typically enjoy turn-based, it ends up being like so strategic that it's so fun.
No, I think it actually does a good job of when every player takes control of somebody, it very loosely feels like that is the person. And when that character dies, oh, my friend died. He's dead.
My friend died. I gotta get him back up.
Yeah. It's not, nameless loser just died. Okay, he could just switch to another character. Who cares?
But that's exactly. And that's always been a game that's been in like the back of my head. Like, why don't people do this more often? Like, it's not like it's something incredibly difficult either. It's just not a genre that, like, for some reason, multiplayer is like a relevant thing, and I think it should be. I think it would be cool, even like a JRPG that I could play with friends on an actual adventure and stuff like that. Because this is more of like a roguelike style of game. In ways, it's more of like, I don't know if it's a roguelike. It's got mechanics, but it's either way. It would be cool to play through a JRPG like a story and have it be multiplayer. I still kind of want to see that. I don't know if that's a reskin necessarily, but I would love to see a For the King reskin, and For the King 2 is supposedly going to come out
here soon. Hey.
So I'm very excited for that. That adds the ability to play with 4 people and adds new classes and all kinds of fun stuff.
And it adds positional tactics.
Positional. They had a demo for like a week that people could play in like a beta. And we played it, and it's so good.
It's so fun already. I hated playing it because it got me excited to play it.
Same.
It did. And now I
think immediately after playing that beta, we ended up doing a run of just the first one again.
Just For the King again, because how much we loved it.
Yes.
And that's again another one of those games that I'm never uninstalling.
No, it never comes off the computer.
Yeah.
As long as there's boys that'll play it, like if we're on, we're like For the King run, absolutely.
Yep. And we always start those 4-hour-long runs at the most opportune time at about 11:30 at night. Yep. One person said, I think I ought to go to bed. And one person says, you want to start a For the King run? They're like, all right, I'll do it.
Let me go grab a snack real quick.
Yeah, let me get a snack, bro.
We'll do something quick. We'll do something quick, like endless mode happened one time.
Yeah. Oh, the dungeon one is cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool run through.
All right. Well, let's not
All
start
right.
talking about For the King now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Another
Let's
episode.
keep it short.
Yeah, that's next part 2 of this. Just kidding. All right, so we're gonna call it there. This is way longer than we intended the episode to be. I'm looking at our timer now, and good gracious.
Well, we haven't talked to them in a while.
we haven't.
Yeah.
And we've
We
been
got good
enjoying
reason.
ourselves.
We're very terrified that you all will abandon us, so we had to pad the runtime a lot.
But this
I
is
feel like
something you
there's a
just
lot of
throw on in the
content.
background. I mean, you ain't even got to really full pay attention.
Yeah, and let your dog listen to it while they're anxious at home or something. I don't know what
Who's
you're
a
doing.
good boy?
Who's a good
Who's a
boy?
good
See,
boy?
Look,
You want a
see
treat?
how happy.
You need to go
Ooh.
outside?
Now you know
Why?
when you get to
Why
this
do
part.
budget?
You know your dog's happy at home
Yeah.
when he gets to this part.
Hey, but Budget Bits could make treats. That's a good name for
Budget treats.
A
Definitely
treat.
the industry
A
we're
budget
trying to
bit.
break into. We need dog.
Yeah, we're trying to.
biscuits.
We're getting into the very niche section of dog treats.
Buttery budget bit biscuits.
Get
Buttery
your
flaky
get your
crunch.
Yeah.
get your get your podcast and your dog a
Buttery
treat
budget
at
bit
Budget
biscuits.
Bits.
All right, let's sign off
Buttery
this. Let's
bits.
sign off this thing. I'm Justin Birchfield. Love you, moi.
Dylan Lakes. Mwah.
Tyler Chambers. Just want to say before we end, thank you to everyone who's
Wow.
joined our Discord.
Oh yes.
If you want to interact
Yes.
with us, talk with us, DM us, whatever you want to do, it's there's a link at our website. Click it. It'll send you to a Discord.
and
please join.
will be in this episode description as well.
Yep. So just thank you
Yes.
everyone for who has joined and who has interacted with us, giving us game submissions, all that love. We love it.
Yep, we love it.
Mwah.
Thank you, moi.
Mwah.
Mwah.